Alrighty, thanks for joining us for this weather update here on WTHR Plus. I'm Felicia Lawrence with meteorologist Sean Ash. So right now, the governor is set to give an update on the state's winter preparedness plan in just a few minutes. So we are standing by for that. But we know the snow is falling right now in central Indiana, and it's not done yet. Sean is here tracking it for us.
Yeah, good timing with this press conference here. You know, kind of brewed up some snow. So going into the weekend, we had the weather impact alert day for today, and this is why. Look, not a winter storm, but impactful snow. We knew it wasn't going to be a lot, but we knew the timing and temperatures would be key. We had a bunch of accidents this morning, and we just had the heaviest burst all event long just move through downtown Indianapolis. This is what's left behind. Roads are still ranging from wet to little slushy, snow covered in these bursts. Here's the vantage point from downtown as we look south. And no more than 5 minutes ago, couldn't really make out the skyline. And we have radar in intensity mode. We know this is all snow, so this is just a helpful way for us to see where it's snowing heavier than other spots and where we get into the darker shades of green. And that's what's moving through the metro right now, moving quickly to the south, by the way. In a couple of hours, we're going to have sunshine. But we still have to get through this last gasp of snow. You see it just about to dip south of I-70, but a quick accumulation with this, and roads can change pretty rapidly within it. Temperatures been key, so we knew this was going to be part of the story too. We're still in the 20s, well below average, and we're not going to climb much today. I do want to put the cloud layer on here because we're already in sunshine in Monticello as well as Lafayette, but it's going to take longer to get through Bloomington, Columbus, as well as Seymour and Shelbyville. I would give it probably another hour and a half, but this thing is diving south pretty quickly. You can already see the backside of the cloud deck. So from north to south over the next couple of hours, you're going to see a brightening sky. That's going to make all the difference in the world. We've had all kinds of school delays and some closures today. Most of them have been centered over the northern part of our viewing area, but we've had some delays across the metro as well. Winter weather advisory will go until noontime. And part of this quick jab of cold, and man, we took that cold air and put it over the lakes, and that is just textbook heavy lake effect snow bands. Chicago got hit hard earlier. We have a new band that's formed and impacting the city there, as well as Northwest Indiana. Our weather player is this cold core low that's diving southward now well of the Ohio River. In its wake, we'll get the sunshine this afternoon. Highs that should be in the 50s will only be in the 30s today. As we go into, and there you go, see that band that's going to set up eventually overnight, early tomorrow morning. We'll have to keep tabs there for Kokomo, Muncie, and Richmond, perhaps some impacts with that lake effect band. Tomorrow, a completely different day. Cloud cover around. It's going to be pretty breezy here, and temperatures that will be in the 40s. All right, we'll have much more coming up today at noon. Felicia.
All right, thank you so much, Sean. We appreciate it. Now, we do want to get you to where state leaders are speaking right now about the preps underway to make this a safe winter season. We're expecting the governor to speak. Right now, here's Illinois State Police. Let's take a listen.
Toll road post, which comes right off the Lake Michigan. So it's been a very active 24 hours. But this happens every year. This really should not be too much of a surprise to anybody. We deal with this every year, and we're again partnering with INDOT, Department of Homeland Security, our local law enforcement agencies throughout all 92 counties in which we have a presence, and we'll tackle this head on as best we can. We do maintain 6 regional dispatch centers, and each of those centers is tied into our Department of Transportation camera system. So we have an opportunity to see what's happening live. Sometimes we're able to head some things off before it becomes a problem, and other times, we just can't get there quick enough. So utilizing the technology, our partnerships, we're certainly ready to go. Last year at this time, from December 1st through the end of March of this year, there were some 64,400 vehicle crashes around the state. 4,500 of those were basically due to unsafe speed, driving too fast for the weather conditions. Almost 9,700 were involved injury, in which more than 12,000 people were injured. And finally, and unfortunately, 215 of those were fatal, in which 229 motorists lost their lives. So we do have some driving tips, some things that we encourage of the motoring public. I think right now is a healthy reminder, if you haven't already done so, now's a pretty good time to maybe get that car in and make sure that it's ready to go for the rigors of winter driving. And you as a driver, get yourself ready. Get your plan, have a plan of action, your safety preparedness kit. Those things go a long way in preparing yourself. But one thing we do want to remind everybody, the weather does not cause crashes. And yes, they are crashes, they are not accidents. The responsibility falls squarely on each individual driver to ensure safety on our roadways. We all play a part. Law enforcement, our partners with INDOT, and you as the motoring public. Be aware of existing construction and road restrictions or other related projects on those roads in which you travel. We talked about snow removal. How many of you had to dust your car off this morning? How many had to scrape your windows? That means all the windows. I mean, we're all going to see it at some point. We're going to see the guy who thinks, or gal who thinks they're a submarine driver with a periscope. That's lazy and irresponsible. It doesn't take more than another minute to scrape off the entirety of your windows. So please, help us out with that. You might have four-wheel drive, but you don't have four-wheel stop. And we've seen a lot of vehicles testing the limits of their vehicles. They're overdriving their capabilities or their abilities as a driver. So again, please, please, please be very careful. If you find yourself in the unfortunate instance in which you're in a vehicle crash, we see it all the time. People want to get out and they want to wander around their vehicle, take pictures, which totally understand, but you're also doing it in an active roadway. And then once you've already crashed, possibility for a second and a tertiary crash exists. So please don't wander around. Indiana law requires that if there are no injuries, fatalities, entrapment, or hazardous materials, you're required to move that vehicle off the roadway. That law has actually been in effect for almost 10 years now. It was enacted back in July of 2016. So don't just stand there and leave your vehicle on the roadway. If you can move it, please do so to a safe spot. And finally, and the commissioner talked about it, not only don't crowd the plow, but give all of us on the side of the roadways room to work. Far too often, law enforcement, emergency services, highway workers, either the individuals or the vehicles are struck on the side of the road because people are not moving over. Indiana law is very clear. You're required to move over to an adjacent lane if there's an emergency vehicle with flashing lights or a broken down vehicle with flashing lights. If you cannot move over, you have to slow to 10 miles below the posted speed limit. In other words, the way I look at it, if there's a vehicle on the side of the road, running or not, lights flashing or not, move over. Very simple. When in doubt, move over. Okay? Please drive responsibly. Give yourself additional time. Buckle up, phone down. Don't drink and drive, and take ownership of your driving behaviors. So with that being said, it's my honor to introduce to you Executive Director of the Department of Homeland Security, Jonathan Whittam. Sir.
Good morning. I'm Jonathan Whittam, Executive Director of IDHS. With Winter Weather Preparedness Week upon us and now legitimate winter weather outside, I'd like to share some of the resources that are available to Hoosiers provided by our agency. First, getprepared.in.gov. This website has tips and plans for Hoosiers to prepare for all types of disasters and emergencies they may face, including winter weather. Hoosiers can call 211 to get real-time information about warming centers in their community. We also encourage travelers to visit the IDHS travel advisory map before they hit the road so they can see what travel conditions are out there before they face them in real time. A link to each of these resources is available at the IDHS website, which is in.gov/DHS. Finally, our Emergency Operations Center is staffed 24/7, and we stand ready to assist Hoosiers with our partner agencies during winter weather emergencies. IDHS encourages all Hoosiers to have an emergency kit ready in their vehicle which should include blankets, jumper cables, water, snacks, and an ice scraper. Individuals should also stock up on essentials like non-perishable food, water, flashlights, and blankets for their home. Visit in.gov/DHS for more information. Encourage everybody to stay safe this winter season. Now I'd like to introduce Secretary Ubelor, our Secretary of Transportation and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan, and appreciate everyone being here. Good morning. Hope everyone had a safe drive in. You know, I drove in from southern Indiana this morning and went through 3 accidents on my way up here, or I should say, crashes. So I guess to cap this off, there's 3 words that are very, very important here. It's safety, safety, and safety. So that's the key to what we're all trying to do here, and I want to thank all of our partners here, State Police, Homeland Security, the work that INDOT does. You cannot say enough about the safety aspect of what we're all doing here. So my hat's off to them. I mean, I am a guy that came from a mining career, so safety was front and center every single day, and it should be every time you get behind the wheel of your car. Safety every single time. So I can't say enough thank yous to the people that are out here preparing for this weather, the people that are keeping us safe from the state police, and all the different people that are out there. I got some stats written down here. INDOT information, 922 snow routes. And you heard them talk about a route is 12 hours, one guy covering that. So 922 snow routes, 29,000 lane miles, including 720 miles of just ramps on our road system. We have 219,000 tons of salt on hand, and we typically use nearly 250,000 tons of salt every single year. So it's a big deal what they're doing and trying to prepare for it, get it all purchased before the season gets here. It don't happen, hey, bring me some salt. It don't happen like that. There's a lot of preparation and planning going into it, and I can't say enough about the professionals that are thinking about this long before that first snow falls. So I can't say enough to them folks about that. 1.5 million gallons of salt brine, 1,700 plus drivers, 1,000 plus snow plows, and the people that are out here and getting this done. Remember, these people are doing this 24/7. And guess what? It comes Thanksgiving, it comes Christmas, it comes New Year, and it's snowing. Guess what? These people are saying, sorry, family, I've got people to take care of out here. So I think that it's very, very appropriate for not just me as a head of the Department of Transportation, but every citizen out here across our great state of Indiana should be saying thank you to the people that are getting this work done. Very, very important, keeping the people safe. And with that, I would like to introduce our governor, Governor Michael Braun.
It's ironic when you've got snow coming down on the day you had planned ahead to talk about preparedness for winter. You can see we got a great crew of professionals here, and I'm not going to repeat things they've said, but I think it's good to heed what they've said. You heard about the websites that are available. Also, I don't think it was mentioned, this time of the year, at least you're here seeing snow on the road. Something a lot worse than it's called black ice. And that is going to happen even when you have a foggy evening and then it freezes. And when you're hitting black ice, you're literally along for the ride. So be aware of it, and also senior citizens. Not only getting into your vehicles, so many senior citizens end up having accidents just getting from their home into the vehicle. So be careful there as well. So you can be confident that in our state, we've got the resources, we've got professionals that take care of keeping you safe, and then there's no substitute for common sense. Don't push the envelope. Weather looks like it's going to be bad. Err on the side of not testing it, and we'll keep everybody safe here so we can get through this winter season and keep the crossroads of America in good shape now and when we have better weather in spring and summer. So thanks everybody for putting this together, and I think it's always good to err on the side of caution, not push the envelope, and be rest assured here in Indiana we'll devote the resources to it. Thank you.